So I'd say about the past month or so, I've been getting this annoying pop-up on my computer every time I start it up, and it basically says this, your startup disk is full, or almost full. And it goes on to say you need to make some space available on your startup disk by deleting files. And then there's that little box that says, like, do you want to be warned again? And or you can just press OK and get rid of the thing. And yeah, I just keep pressing OK and just get rid of the pop-up and get on with what I've been doing on the web or Facebook, whatever. Well, this thing has been popping up more and more, and it got to the point today where I thought, what is the deal with this? Obviously, there's a problem. I'm not dealing with it, and it's got this big triangle with an exclamation point on it, like a 911 sign. I'm like, all right, maybe I should, heed the warning here and just, what does this mean? The startup disk is almost full. So I Googled it, where you can find most answers to problems, right? And I come across this website. It's a computer skills website, and the title is basically called What to Do When Your Mac Startup Disk is Almost Full. And as I'm starting to read it, I'm thinking to myself, is this really a blog on a startup disk, or am I reading a sermon? Because I'm telling you, the two are so parallel in terms of what he's talking about with your computer and what we deal with in terms of our mind. And if you can imagine, or just come with me right now on a journey, that the startup disk is like your brain, okay? And there are just times where it's just so filled with stuff that you're either in anxiety mode, you're in fear mode, you're getting sluggish, you're getting bogged down. And so he says this. This guy is really funny. He talks about it. He calls it the situation. And he starts talking about how, we just need to face the cold, hard truth. And he says this, quote, the cold, hard truth is that you got sloppy. He said he used to treat your Mac like gold, but these days it's old, slow, and full. You tell yourself that you need everything on it, but you know it's not true. Now you have no choice. You have to find ways to trim the fat. Where do you even start? So at this point, I'm already laughing because I'm thinking, God, this is really funny. Yes, I know I tend to over spiritualize everything, but okay, I'm going with this, Lord. What are you speaking to me about tonight? And so the guy goes on to talk about, before you begin, you got to kind of prep yourself. You're going to need some extra storage. You might need an extra hard drive to save the things that you really do want to hold on to, but let's get going right away. And he says, step one, empty your trash. Empty your trash. He refers to the computer crying out for help, asking, please, please, press the empty button. For the sake of all involved, delete the thing. That's the quickest, easiest way to get rid of what he calls the morbidly obese startup drive, to drop a few pounds. I thought that was funny, because how many times do you and I carry around, for lack of better words, a bunch of trash up here, and it's just a weight. It's just a weight on the mind, right? In step two, he goes on to say, clear out downloads and desktop. Well, if your desktop is anything like mine, I've got stuff all over the place. It's crazy. My husband hates it, but he's got his own computer. Clear out the downloads. I have so many downloads from seminary and from things that I had to download for other purposes, and he said, if you're not using it within the week, then just get rid of it. Get rid of the clutter. Now, come with me again back to the mind. What have you been downloading recently? What's going on up here? What's on your desktop that's cluttering your vision, that you just need to kind of just clear that stuff away? And again, press the delete button, right? Step three, he says, check out your movie folder. Well, this one got me thinking. How many times do you replay a situation in your mind like a movie? You're either playing the movie backwards, you're rewinding it 100 million times, blah, 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 or you're playing the movie forward and you're thinking about like what's going to happen next, trying to read into a situation, old conversations, blah, 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 blah. And it's taking up so much space. In fact, this guy even says, go ahead and hit the Command I button and you're going to see this little thing pop up and it's going to tell you that it's taking up an enormous amount of room in your hard drive. And I'm going to say that I agree with that one. Step 4, clean up music, apps, and pictures. Yeah. Well, you can draw your own conclusions about that. What kind of images do you have in your mind? What is, again, what are the songs? What are the ways that we are applying the things that we've seen, heard? What's going on up there in terms of the storage of these pictures, images, music, whatever? It's time to empty out the trash again. It's time to click the delete button. And finally, he talks about the kill big caches, those things that the computer just take and hold in memory, and how it's kind of like a third party. It's like that. It's almost like gossip. It's like stuff that we just don't really need to hear or know about. So there's my little startup disc sermon for the evening. I hope you can hit the delete button. I'm going to go do it right now. Amen.